Cody thinks his wise living hurt his relationship with the kids, calling their setup with 4 homes on one cul-de-sac during their stretch in Las Vegas the best time of my life. Cody said, "Everything was going along smoothly and Maddie and Caleb were around and it was great having them around. And I loved Caleb, he was definitely like family. But things started to fall apart in Arizona as they clashed over coronavirus-related precautions. Then when his marriages fell apart, he said, his bonds with the kids followed. It just made all those relationships go sour." But Christine insisted there were issues well before she announced she was leaving in late 2021. "All the kids that were frustrated way before I left," she said on the September 22 episode. "My leaving didn't change his kids' relationship with him. Cody can still fix his relationships with his children, though it'll definitely take some work. I'm so angry about how I've been treated that I haven't gotten past that," Cody explained. "Here's the thing is I'm not willing to take blame for things that my wife or ex-wife is sitting there telling them that I did. I hope the time comes when the contempt will subside. We'll be able to find forgiveness and love again." Cody revealed he and Mary didn't know each other all that well when they wed both spiritually and legally at the age of 21 and 19, respectively. They eventually filed for divorce in 2014 so Cody could legally adopt Robin's 3 eldest children from her first marriage. "When we got married, she was very different, and I think just there's some baggage that Mary had that I didn't know about," Cody explained. "Initially, I felt like I could live with it." Claiming that everything was a fight, he said, "I can't live in a world where she is constantly angry at me." Yet he was unable to leave. "A man in plural marriage," said Cody, "if he wants to stay faithful and in the faith, he cannot request a divorce. It's not allowed." So I was not able to get out of that relationship. At the same time, I didn't necessarily want out of the relationship. I wanted to know if we could save and fix it. Hence the mixed messages he acknowledged of Mary thinking they would work everything out. "But every time they were together," continued Cody, "she wasn't nice, she wasn't fun, she wasn't kind, she wasn't interesting. I'm trying to be curious with her and I'm bored." To be fair, he added, he could see why Mary felt abandoned. "But I didn't kick me out. Christine, Janelle, and Mary all chose to have me leave the home." Though Janelle and Christine felt they didn't need to divorce Cody because their marriage was never legal, Mary planned to ask their church for an official separation called a release. "When each of us 4 ladies married Cody, it was through our church," she explained in the September 22 episode. "Obviously we can't all be legally married, but it was what we called a covenant. So I feel like it's best to terminate that because we're not moving forward with any marriage and I don't want to be, like, sealed to him for eternity if he doesn't want me. And I'm at a place that, like, let's just separate this completely." Cody was resistant to the idea, she added, not wanting to acknowledge the authority of the church leaders. "The damage was done so badly that we're not going to reconcile no matter what," Cody explained of his stance. "And so, however, we are made accountable to God. I don't want to be accountable to this church and all their BS. So I'm going to let Mary go and do her thing because if I'm angry at her, it becomes a fight. And I needed her just to go away because it just took forever for her to finally realize it's been done and over for years." A text message discussion over a 2021 holiday gift exchange turned particularly ugly for the 18 Brown offspring. "It all went bad, it all went south," detailed Christine. "Cody and Robin and their kids were on one side, and they wanted nothing to do with Janelle, me, our kids. And there was a split that happened after this text thread." Robin's take was that her 3 older kids felt the exchange was emotionally unsafe and said they needed to take a step back from the relationship. "But it was never anything about, 'We don't want to see you again. We don't want anything to do with you,'" she insisted. "It was just about, like, hey, this got yucky." Robin's kids never felt welcome into the family. "I have been told directly, multiple circumstances by multiple different people, that I was not accepted." Aurora insisted of coming into the family when her mom would Cody in 2010, that I was not their sister, that they didn't consider or see me that way. And her sister Brianna said she felt the parents could have done a better job with, connecting us as a family, and it never really happened. But Christine isn't sure how they could have opened their arms any wider. Sister Wives Christine Brown shares the advice she gives her kids about dad Cody Brown. Sister Wives star Christine Brown shared insight into her kids' estrangement from their dad Cody Brown. sharing how she helps them cope with their fractured relationship. Christine Brown wishes her ex Cody Boron handled his relationships with their children differently. The Sister Wives star admitted that it's been difficult to see her and Cody's 6 kids have a more fractured relationship with their dad in the wake of their 2021 breakup. It's devastating to have your kids have daddy issues because my relationship with my dad is one of my favorite relationships, Christine exclusively told E! News in a joint interview with Janelle Brown. And to have kids who struggle with their dad, it's really, really hard. I would love it if they had a good relationship with him. Christine and Cody, who were spiritually wed for 25 years before their split, share children Aspen Thompson, 29, Mykelti Padron, 28, Peyton Brown, 26, Wendlyn Brown, 22, Isabel Brown, 21, and Truly Brown, 14. And despite where she personally stands with Cody, Christine has tried to help her kids find common ground. I just tell them, you've got to accept him where he's at, the 51-year-old shared, and be open, just be open when he calls, answer the phone. In recent years, the Brown family has had a lot of changes as after Christine left, Cody's plural marriages to Janelle and Mary Brown both ended, leaving him only in a relationship with legal wife Robin Brown. While Christine has since found love with husband David Woolley, she still has frustrations in how Cody relates to many of his 18 children. I just don't get it at all, she said. I think his kids are some of the best people that I've ever met in my life. They're incredible people, and he has a choice to be in their life. And I just don't think he's really taking it so he can fully be in their life, and it's his loss. 'Cause they're amazing people. However, despite Cody's estrangement from many of his kids, the kids themselves have only seen their bonds grow in recent years. They get closer and closer, I think, as the years go by, Janelle expressed. And I'm really grateful for that. Our children have really managed to maintain close bonds, even though they do live across the country from each other. Cody Boron insisted he was ready to divide himself from first wife, Mary Brown, shortly after their 1990 vows. But he led me to believe that he would work on things by saying, "Oh Mary, when we move to Flagstaff, this will be a good time to have a new beginning for us." Mary shared in the September 15 premiere, referencing their 2018 move. Like he led me to believe those things. This is what he's done for many, many years. Her main gripe, she shared, is his lack of communication and how he really felt, and what he really wanted or what he really didn't want, and the story that he's been telling for all these years. And while Cody acknowledged that there may have been mixed messages, it was only because as he started to work on things, I'm like, why would I do this? He explained. I would not court and date her now. They're like, okay, we're here for you, we're supporting you. And it's about damn time, she confessed. Blinders off, she now feels that he had been trying to get her to walk away for years by insisting he didn't love her. Because if he can push me out and I leave, he's not the bad guy because he didn't walk away. Years after the family purchased the 14-acre plot of land they planned to build on in Flagstaff, Ariz, Cody confessed in the season premiere that he was ready to let the dream wither. Unable to build without paying off the full $820,000 price tag, which the family reportedly did in 2023, he told remaining wife Robin Brown, I'd almost rather scrap it or sell it and then just start again somewhere else. While second wife Janelle Brown previously told E! News, we just kind of started to grow apart. Ultimately, it was Cody's lapses as a parent to some of their kids that pushed her to leave. The big spark for me was when his relationship broke down with my children, and he didn't seem like he would move heaven and earth to fix it, explained the mom to Logan Brown, Madison Brown Brush, Hunter Brown, Garrison Brown, Gabriel Brown, and Savannah Brown. And I thought, oh, that was what was really holding me here. That was the explanation Cody gave for not working harder to mend the rifts he was experiencing with several of his adult children. I don't fit in the family anymore, he griped in the September 15 episode, noting he was still fully married to Robin and parenting their 5 kids together. Dayton Brown, Aurora Brown, Brianna Brown, Solomon Brown, and Ariella Brown. He added, and then I have some relationship with some of the other kids and it's infrequent. And so I'm like, what do I do with all of this? It doesn't feel like a family. Despite being truly monogamous for the first time in their 14-year union, we're probably doing the worst we've ever done in our marriage, Robin confessed in the season 19 premiere. It's been tough between us. He doesn't know who to blame, himself or one of the other wives. Cody's feeling a lot of rejection, and so I think he's kind of looking at me going, are you going to reject me too? As a result, she revealed, I'm on my toes. I'm having to consistently make sure that he is not sabotaging our relationship. The hardest part, she summed up. There's no resource to help with the idea that I'm still married to a man who's going through divorces. Cody, meanwhile, was having a crisis of confidence, sharing, I can't look myself in the mirror and say, hey dude, I love you. Add Janelle's eldest daughter Madison to the list of kids Cody doesn't currently have a relationship with. I know that Maddie has not had any conversations with her dad, Janelle explained during the premiere. He's not called, she's not called him, and she doesn't have any relationship with Robin. She's pretty much written them both off. At issue, said Janelle, is Cody having a half-hearted relationship with Maddie's kids Axel, Evangeline, and Josephine. She doesn't really want him to have any contact unless he can commit to it. As a result, Janelle shared in the September 22 episode, Cody did sort of cut off communication with Maddie and her husband Caleb Brush, whose sister was married to Cody's brother, when the family started to really dissolve. With Cody not visiting or calling, Maddie has been mama bear to the extreme, added Janelle. She has felt like until he can be consistent and show up and not be dramatic that she feels like it's probably better if they don't know about him. And while Robin noted she's been encouraging Cody to reach out and mend things, she said, I think the kids should be doing the same thing too. For now though, Cody doesn't seem ready to repair the rift, griping that every time he spoke to his daughter, it was a fish for gossip and I got tired of it. While spending time together on their 32nd anniversary, he was alluding to the fact that he never loved me and he felt like he had to marry me. Miri shared in a chat with her friend Brandy during the September 15 premiere. And I said to him, Cody, I know you love me. And if he didn't, the mom to Leon Brown said in a confessional, why did he ever choose to propose? When a single young man meets a single young woman, why would he choose to marry her and just affirm and force love for her when he didn't love her? She wondered. How cruel is that? To pick me out of a crowd and just be like, I pick you to try to force myself to love for the next 32 years. Cody's response, he shared in his own confessional. Oh, Miri has her little accusations now. Fine, she can say whatever she wants. I'm not going to comment on it, though she was undecided on if she'd like to build on Coyote Pass or simply sell it off. Janelle noted that step one was paying off the Arizona property, and with Cody unwilling to talk to her about the situation, I think I'm going to have to lawyer up, she confessed to former sister wife Christine Brown in a September 22 episode. Because I think that's the only way I'm ever going to get any kind of decision out of him. And Janelle acknowledged that without a legal marriage to Cody, I really have no legal rights to make any kind of claim on Cody's property. As she put it, it's not like I'm just calling a lawyer and saying I need to divorce this person. No, it's really complicated because there's no legal marriage.